Hey there guys, how's it going, and welcome to a top 5 Call of Duty countdown where we're going to be looking at the top 5 all-time worst maps. Now in every Call of Duty the developers always seem to have this knack of throwing in a few of these terrible maps that no one enjoys playing, and no matter how many times you try and skip them, they always seem to come up in rotation. So this is my top 5 worst all-time Call of Duty maps. At number 5 we have a map which could be easily confused with a small town or city. I like to call it Skyrim, but it's known as Stonehaven from Call of Duty Ghosts. This map is so big it wouldn't be out of place in DayZ. It is just ridiculously huge. I don't know what they were thinking, why they thought this would be fun. I'll be fair to it, it's not quite as bad as some of the others in this counter because it kind of has a decent flow to it, but it's just so big, it's too huge to have much fun on. It wouldn't be out of place in Titanfall. Even if you threw the Titans in this map, it would still be too big. So just a huge map, not really any fun to play at all. It didn't look too terrible. It also had this kind of crashed space station in it, which is kind of weird, but didn't really add anything to it, and it was just one that I always want to avoid. So number 5 is Stonehaven. At number 4 I've gone for Drone from Black Ops 2. Now this map was just so awkward. In certain parts it doesn't seem to be too terrible, but one thing it doesn't have that is vital to enjoying a map of Call of Duty is it doesn't have a flow to it. It's very disjointed, you have these small areas and kind of more open areas, but it feels really awkward to get around for some reason and just no fun in general. Of course you'll get the odd fun game, but for me this was the worst map in Black Ops 2 and I just really disliked it. It didn't look good, it didn't play well, just not a fun one at all, and I always wanted to skip it. So number 4 is Drone from Black Ops 2. And number 3 I've decided to go with Seelow from Call of Duty World at War. Now to be fair, World at War had the tanks as well, so that made it not so bad in terms of it was a huge map, but don't get me twisted guys, this map was incredibly big, up there with Stonehaven, and not only that, but it looked horrible. It really looked dank and dreary, and I know that was the feeling and the atmosphere in World at War, but it made it not a lot of fun at all. And although I did have some kind of fun games on this one, at the train tracks in the middle, the B domination flag was okay. There's just so many huge areas of this map that are unused. It doesn't really have an interesting layout or anything. It's just a couple of fields, a train track in the middle. It's just brown and it's just depressing. I just didn't have much fun on this one. Way too big, even when you consider the vehicles. So number 3, Seelow from World at War. At number 2 I've decided to go with Derail from Modern Warfare 2, and this one kind of stands out because in a game like Modern Warfare 2 where there's a lot of action-packed fun maps, this was the map that just everyone groaned at when it came up in the playlist. No one wanted to play this. It was very difficult to see people. Again, another big map, and obviously the big maps are going to be the ones that I choose because they're never as fun, and this one just was not appealing at all. I mean, Modern Warfare 2 had some great colours to it, some great kind of atmosphere to the game itself, and this one just completely killed the atmosphere of the game. No one wanted to play it. It wasn't that much fun, and of course it was one of the classic Warfare 2 maps where you could noob tube across the whole map and all that kind of stuff. So really had no fun on this map in what was otherwise a really fun game. So number 2, Derail for Modern Warfare 2. At number 1, and I don't make this decision lightly, I've gone for Seige from Call of Duty Ghosts. You guys know me, I don't often rage, I don't often rant, but what the hell were they thinking? It is not only ridiculously huge, it's kind of got the perception of maybe not being that big, because it doesn't really have any big open areas. In the bigger maps, sometimes you can snipe across long sightlines. This map doesn't really have that, and in that kind of area where you'd want to have that, there's this huge hole in the middle, so you can't even run across there. So it makes it very narrow, although it's a really huge map, difficult to get around. There are some sections of this map that have absolutely no purpose, and when I say some sections, I mean about 2/3 of this map serves no purpose. The side part where there's a mine, like a mine shaft and some freaking, I don't know what they're digging out there, coal or something, that could be simplified. The back ends of either side could be completely taken out. The hole in the middle filled and actually made into a decent area. There's a bit where you can climb up into this kind of watchtower but not really see anything from there. It doesn't look great, it plays boring, it's really slow, and it also has no flow to it. There's no kind of obvious flow, which makes it really difficult to navigate. And not only all of that, but it's just got this kind of really awkwardness to it that I did not enjoy at all. And of course, it has this thing that Ghost has in a lot of its maps where it has verticality to it, which makes it very difficult to know where people are. And a lot of Call of Duty Ghost, because it is a Twitch shooter, or Call of Duty in general, is knowing and being able to anticipate people. And when there's so many ways across the map and so many vertical elements to an already complicated and over big map, it just makes for an absolute mess. So my all-time least favourite Call of Duty map is Seige from Call of Duty Ghosts. So that concludes this top 5. I know this one was a bit of a ranty one. Maybe some of you enjoyed that. It's a little bit of a different style from me to actually rant and rave about things. I'm a pretty positive guy in general, and I always see the good in things. But some of these maps, I don't know, they just brought out the rage and brought back the memories. Of course, leave a comment, let me know what some of your least favourite maps were, and even put your top 5 if you feel like it. Don't forget to smash the like button as well if you did enjoy this video. Leave a comment saying what other top 5s you'd be interested in seeing next. And if you're interested in picking up some cheap PC games, also you can get Xbox credit and iTunes credit. Check out G2A, some great deals on there, links in the description, and I'll see you guys next time.